Hello, welcome to the Diana channel. Today, I want to talk about The Princes in the Press Part 1. So, I'm in America, and I think Part 2 premiered in London last night. I haven't been able to find it or catch it, but I did get to watch Part 1 on YouTube, and I thought it was amazing. I loved it. I have watched a ton of royal documentaries. I am obsessed with Princess Diana, hence the channel. So I've watched, oh my gosh, dozens of really. Elvis wants to say hi. Elvis, do you want to be a star? Are all your snorts going to be caught by my microphone? Yeah. Let's hold you this way. I've watched so many insanely dull royal documentaries, and this one is so good. It's really high production quality. It feels really like they're kind of letting you in on a secret. I love how it's all the press talking. It's really good. So first off, like the deal, right? This is what Harry was talking about in the Oprah interview. He literally was like, yo, there's a deal with the palace and the press. I'm not going to play this game. He even said that with like his Tom Bradbury, like, I won't be bullied into playing a game that killed my mom. Who's bullying you? The press, definitely. Is it also your family? Is it? I think it is. Meghan's court documents make it sound like it was. At least they were bullying him about Meghan and her father. Girl, there is literally so much to talk about. It's like an infinite amount of coverage. Okay, anyways, so the deal is real. The deal is confirmed. And all these royal journalists after Oprah were trying to act like, I've never heard of a deal. I've never been to a party at the palace. What is this? They were all literally denying it. Elvis, I see you. Little star. Okay, first off, I'm just gonna like go through my the notes I wrote automatically and expand on them. So first, ugh, Camilla Tominey. I cannot with Camilla Tominey. She is super pro monarchy, which that's your choice, of course. Like you're British, like you understand it in a way I could never understand it. But she just honestly seems like a snake. I'm not into it. First off, I was like, private investigator. Okay, cocaine. I feel like that explains a lot. Like, I feel like a lot of them are just like coked out of their minds. Guess who's back? Back again. Elvis is back. Tell your puppy friends. Little eye booger butt. All right. Brandon's not here, if you couldn't tell. Okay. Yeah, PI, okay, cocaine. Yeah, I'm really getting like the cocaine vibe. That honestly is making a lot of sense with how these royal people and reporters and people chasing them, tapping into their phone lines, they're just like cracked out of their minds. This is kind of making Diana the musical make a little bit more sense, at least the paparazzi scenes. I don't know if they knew something we didn't know. Should we talk about Diana the musical? I'm like loath to rewatch it, but I will. If y'all want to talk about it. Me and my best friend were saying we need to like find a drinking game for it because it's just a mess. Anyways, talking about the private investigator, and I was like, damn, no wonder Chelsea Davy bowed out because everyone said that she broke up with Harry because she couldn't handle the press intrusion, and that's really high key. The phone hacking scandal. I don't know how I didn't hear about this. I haven't been like high key watching the royals, honestly, until like last couple of years. So I guess I missed this, but Princess Diana was right. Everyone tried to make her feel like she was insane for saying like, oh, I think my phones are hacked. Of course she was right. Of course she was right. Did anyone else get chills when the first shot of Meghan came up on the UN? I mean, I literally got goosebumps because it's like everything already sounds so bad. And then it's just knowing what's coming. Chills. Oh, I said, geez, only $250 for social security numbers and contacts? Like, damn, son. Like, the Sun. I knew they were cheap. I literally knew it. I mean, they're obviously like a rag, but they make an insane amount of money. That seems like a very low cost. Oh, this is definitely about Camilla Tominey. Whenever people unequivocally state that they had no interest in Meghan's race or didn't care at all, it kind of seems like that like bullshit colorblind statements that we see a lot of white people. As a white person, I hear so many people say this to me, like, I don't see color. I get this from like maybe older generations a lot too, but younger people say it as well. And it's just like, that's just like factually not true. Like, you have eyes, you see it. I think that what last summer, like all of that education and listening taught me is that one important thing is just to like recognize your internal bias, because that's how you can actually change it. I think it's when people are really stringently saying like, I'm not racist. I don't have a racist bone in my body. I've never had a racist thought. I don't even see race. I don't even know what race is. Like, it's just, it comes off a little thou doth protest too much. Ooh, someone said, I think it was the host who was amazing. I really want to watch part two. He said the politics of othering. Doesn't that define what Meghan Markle went through? It was like an entire scheme to just make her seem like an other, someone completely outside of British society, outside of royal high society, outside of all of that. And that just made her so much more of a target. Of course, you know, everyone in these situations are targeted in their own ways, but that's really different. I think that's really different. I think that also kind of reminds me of I've been reading more about Princess Charlene of Monaco. That shit is insane. I can't believe I didn't know about it until like literally 2 weeks ago. Shout out Elizabeth Holmes. Um, but it seems like that was something they were doing in like a much smaller degree because she's also white. But just her being not rich in Monaco made her like such an other, an outcast. And I think we've kind of seen how that has turned out. And that's what makes such a difference, isn't it? It makes such a difference, which is why Harry is such an amazing man, because he stands by Meghan, right? Princess Charlene has like a shit husband who just, allegedly cheated on her all the time, allegedly has a third love child. Prince Charles obviously was like too close for comfort with Camilla from day one, period. So these women didn't have their partner on their side. And that's why they really spun out and went through so much difficulty and hardship. Whereas Meghan has Harry. Elvis, get it together. Look at this hooligan. Whereas Meghan has Harry, and he has really been committed to protecting her this entire time. And what a difference that makes, huh? What a difference. Oh yeah, this was what was her name? I didn't write it down. She was the reporter who basically said like Meghan has exotic DNA. And she's kind of like saying how now I understand that it's racist, even though I meant it as a compliment or whatever. But it was really strange because she laughed after saying that. And I know that people laugh when they're uncomfortable and that it's like a way to relieve tension. But I just think it's really not a good look. It's just like, WTF, get it together. And then I said, could Charles be more cringe? I cannot with the sword dancing. It really takes a lot for him to be on a front page, huh? Yeah, Elvis. Yeah, not much has changed, has it? Since, the early 80s, the days of Diana. Charles is still fighting tooth and nail to get on the front page. And now it's like ahead of his own sons. That's really crazy to me, especially like trying to be ahead of William. Like, fine, Diana's just your wife, or fine, Harry's the spare, but like Prince William's literally the next heir. This just shows me that it's all about jealousy, because people try to make it sound like, oh, Charles felt this way about Diana's attention because really the attention needs to be on the next monarch. Like, that's really important to uphold this institution and to keep country unified, or whatever people feel about it. But this obviously shows that that's not true. If he refused to even talk about his sons, especially William. Like, he's the future of the monarchy. Y'all, y'all. He's just such a Scorpio. Charles is such a Scorpio. Like, hashtag jealous. I'm a Scorpio. Like, I get it. Like, it's something you have to work through, though, bro. Like, you need to get some tools in your toolbox, find a safe space, get some processing. Don't like take all your jealous shit out on the people that you supposedly love and care about. So rude. Oh, so I know this was really interesting. This was something I hadn't personally heard before this documentary, that the press like went against Meghan because they didn't do some like formal meet and greet with her and the press, which it sounds like Meghan was down, but Harry was like, no, they're literal vultures, which, hello, he's right. I hadn't heard that though, but I guess they like really wanted to meet her face to face, it sounds like, because to me, like their engagement interview felt like really like, hey, we're introducing ourselves to the world. Like, that seemed a little weird. Oh my gosh. The foursome interview. They show this in like every documentary, like any news clip, any excuse people have to pull up that clip of Will, Kate, Meghan, and Harry talking about how they have all these disagreements and they're all laughing so awkwardly. They're all laughing really hard. Like, it's really hard laughter. And when I was watching it again, I noticed, because it's like they have like Harry, Meghan, Kate, then Will. So the two girls are in the center and Meghan's like closer to them than Harry is. And she literally, when they're talking about that, she literally has her hair like completely over her face. Like, she can't even like have them in her peripheral. She feels so uncomfortable. That is just so telling. Look, this tiara story is so confusing. I will never understand this tiara story. I keep seeing people who are like, no, she wanted the one that she had the whole time. No, it was like the emerald, blah, blah, blah. What Meghan wants, Meghan gets. Like, is that confirmed that he said that? I mean, whatever. Like, it's her wedding. Like, she's the bride. Yeah, like if she wants it, whatever. I don't know. As someone who is getting married in less than a year, I can understand being like, give the bride what she wants, but you know. I feel like the royals' jewels are also just kind of confusing. They have like some murky colonial history. I mean, just like the royals in general have murky colonial history. Oh, one of the press guys, I think, said, at the best of times, the royals are a nest of vipers. At the best of times, they are coming for each other's throats. Wow. It just, I don't know. It feels like the royals back in the day, you know, back in like World War II and shit, they were just like considered just like the epitome of like refinement. And it just, I'm not really getting any of those vibes. No. Lol at Meghan approving her lawyer to be in the documentary. LOL. I enjoy Meghan. I think that she's really fascinating. But that's just honestly really hilarious to me that she had her lawyer in the documentary. And I just, girl, I love and care for you. I'm so happy you're doing better and y'all got out of like what is clearly a very toxic, bad situation. Do you really need to go on Ellen? I just don't think going on Ellen's the best look when you're having workplace bullying allegations and going to Ellen, who obviously was not a great boss. I had heard before like huge expose last year. Was it this year? Time is so weird now with the pandemic. I had heard so many people, so many friends who lived in LA who had heard, I've been hearing horror stories about Ellen probably 10 years. So I think that I 100% think that there is validity to her being a bully at work. I don't know if there is with Meghan. Like, it just sounds like people are just making shit up. Who knows? But it's just not a good look. I know they're friends. It's not a good look. Okay, and lastly, Princes in the Press, part 1. Is it just me, or is the royals like statement grammatically incorrect? I feel like they say and instead of with somewhere. I'll like throw a little pop up. Something about it is grammatically incorrect. It doesn't make sense. And also, it's just one of those things where I feel like I've heard people say before, where if the royals take the time to deny something, then it's probably true. Um, and you'll hear like royalists who are really staunch defenders say things like, oh, they won't, sully their names by defending some tabloid or like defending themselves against something, but they literally do. And they have so many times. That was kind of the argument with Meghan when they were like, yo, why aren't you sticking up for Meghan? And they were like, oh, like we just can't, like just don't worry about it. Like we just can't say anything to them. But then they're like denying Kate's Botox. We know this, we've heard this. It's weird. It's weird. I'm really excited for part 2. I'm going to try to find it ASAP. What does everyone think? I think what's really interesting is that it seems like it was kind of making the press look the worst. Like, yeah, they definitely called the royals out on a lot, but it's just interesting that the royals came together with such a stern statement against this documentary. And then they like moved some program from BBC to ITV. Like they're really just putting more of a spotlight on it and making me just think that it's all the more true, or at least all the more worth analyzing and looking into. Wow. Quite a year to be a royal watcher. Wildin'. Okay. Well, that's all I have. I'm going to try to find part 2 and yeah, talk about that. See what we should talk about next. I'm down to talk about the Diana CNN. It's so long. I need to like rewatch it and do notes. Definitely want to do Diana the musical. There's so much content. Yay, yay, yay. All right. Well, I love y'all and have a good day.